Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Genesis, chapter 4. We're going to try to cover verses 1 through 10. Now, Adam and Eve, they give birth to their first child, Cain. Now, it says, with the help of the Lord, there's really more of a sense that this is a gift from the Lord, this child, Cain, and that he is the fulfillment of the promise of the child that is going to crush the head of the serpent. So this is a thought of being a Messiah, right? And they're very excited that they have Cain. And then, by the way, they also had another kid. His name was Abel. Now, the word Abel really is sort of a sense of Mr. Nobody is sort of the sense of the word. Now, Abel was a shepherd, but Cain was working the soil. And to a certain extent, Cain is on the cutting edge of technology by being a farmer. And Cain brings some of the fruit of his offering to the Lord, and so does Abel. Now, there is no sense in which the offering of the grain or the offering of the flock, the lamb, are better than one another. Both are part of the sacrificial system that'll be part of the temple. So the Lord looks in favor upon Abel's offering, but on Cain he did not look with favor. And the sense of this is that Cain is like, here, God, I did you a favor. I brought you an offering. Look how wonderful I am, right? And he is angry and he is downcast because his worship is not about praising God. It's about him. It's about his prestige, about his position. And the Lord says to Cain, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will it not be accepted? Now, there's a sense, rather, in the Hebrew, that really the word isn't right. It's if you are being good. Now, they were all created to be good, not based on what they did, but based on God's creation. If you are good in that you rely upon Jesus Christ, upon the Lord, that your sacrifice will be accepted. And there's a verse in Hebrews 11 that really opens this whole passage up. And it talks about how Abel's, in verse 4, chapter 11, verse 4, by faith, Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did, because by faith, he was commended as righteous when God spoke well of his offerings. And by faith, Abel still speaks even though he is dead. And so the real sense here is that Abel was righteous by faith, that he trusted the Lord and he gave his offering not as a bribe to God. He's not trying to negotiate with God. It is a gift of thankfulness, praise, and worship. Cain's offering is about himself. And so it's out of that, he says, and you got to really pick up on verse 7. If you do not do what is good, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you. You must rule over it. Now, we know that we don't rule over sin. And oftentimes we fail. That's why we live by faith and by grace. But the clear indication is that Cain is living by his own works and not by a righteousness that comes by faith. Hey, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.